Some people look at candidates, some people look at parties, but the smart people look at the calendar. The sixth-year election in an 8-year presidency is always, with one exception, a disaster for the incumbent president. Always. Start with Woodrow Wilson, elected in 1912, re-elected in 16, and in 1918, the Republicans took over Congress and led the basis for the rejection of the League of Nations. In 1920, Harding and Coolidge were elected president and vice president. Coolidge was re-elected in 24, and in 26, the Democrats made huge gains in Congress. Didn't take it over yet, but very close. 1932, FDR was elected, re-elected in 36. In 1938, the Democrats lost almost 100 seats in the House and a dozen seats in the Senate. 1944, FDR and Truman were re-elected, and in 48, Truman won a second term. But in 1950, the Republicans took over control of both houses of Congress. In 1952, Eisenhower was elected, and in 56, he won re-election. But in 1958, at least a dozen new Democratic senators were elected and major gains in the House. In 1960, Kennedy and Johnson were elected. Johnson re-elected in 64, and in 66, large numbers of Democrats bit the dust. Heavy Republican year. 1968, Nixon and Agnew were elected, and in 1972, re-elected. Well, in 1974, there was a total wipeout of Republicans in Washington. The Democratic Party won higher majorities than it had ever had in history. In 1980, Reagan was elected and re-elected in 84, but in 86, he lost control of the Senate and suffered losses in the House. The only exception was in 1992, Bill Clinton elected, 96 re-elected, and in 98, there was not much change in Congress. But that was because the Republicans had so overreached with impeachment and looked so bad, and the economy was doing so well that Clinton had a charmed life. In 2000, Bush was elected, re-elected in 2004, and in 2006, the Democrats took over the House and the Senate. So when you look forward to the prospects of 2014, you have to realize that Obama is coming up against a huge history of catastrophe for the president in power. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Thanks for watching.